So I'm here with the homie J Rona. We in California, Southern California, Southern. We down the block from Mexico, you know what I'm saying, in Dago. And we was talking about the whole Joey Badass versus everybody situation. Somebody in my comments on the last video I made on this said that this deserved more of my attention. I agree, but I was in the airport talking about it. I couldn't give you, you know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Sidebar, I realized I actually do have a Knicks hat out here with me. You understand what I'm saying? I cursed out I cursed out Tucson for not having no Knicks attire, and they ain't have a Knicks hat in lids. Disrespectful. Shame on you, Liz. You understand what I'm saying? But I forgot I had this one. So we good. Knicks in 6. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. Joey Badass. Somebody said somewhere online that Joey Badass need to call some New York rappers to help him in this battle. I don't think so. Now, I wanted to have my man Rich Martini on the vlog, but he ain't for the cameras and all of that because he's from California. And I didn't want this vlog to seem so one-sided. You understand what I'm saying? But right now, I feel like Joey is up. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
He don't really need no help in this situation just yet. Some people like, yo, Rock, you need to throw your name in the hat. First of all, that's young boy beef. I'm not going to get involved in that. You understand what I'm saying? Unless some of they OGs feel like they need to step up. You understand what I'm saying? They might feel like they, you know what I'm saying? They might need me to shoot my shits a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? Metaphorically speaking. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to fight nobody, but we can rap. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't want to jump into the young boy beef. But for the record, like, we've been examining, and I didn't hear all of it. Right? We didn't hear all of it, so we was just doing a little bit of research, running down the songs to give it a fair, you know what I mean? And there's still a few songs that we didn't hear. But what we have, of course, we did a replay on the Rulers Back, which started it all. You know what I'm saying? I was looking for the song that Ray Vaughn originally put out. I feel like Ray Vaughn put out something soon as the Rulers Back dropped, but I couldn't find it. We couldn't find it on YouTube. This nigga's a DJ, and he couldn't find it. You know, DJs, they crate diggers. They good at finding stuff. Right. But anyway, he couldn't find it. So I don't know, did TDE get it? Not TDE. I know Duck Down ain't get it clipped. I don't know what happened, but I couldn't find it on YouTube. But anyway.
We heard the cipher, though.
We heard, of course, the cipher. That's like, let me just take a second.
That was crazy.
Yes, let's just give that shit its flowers. That shit was fire. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Big Sean set it off. Somebody said in my comments that he was dissing somebody in there, like Kanye or somebody. I missed it. Point out the bars to me. Let me know. Right?
Big Sean always does a lot of subliminal. Shout out to Big Sean.
Listen, subliminal. I'm making this is this is my quest. I want to rename all subliminal rap beef vegan beef. I want that to be official. You understand? And if applicable, but all of that shit is vegan. When the whole Drake and Kendrick shit jumped off, I was like, these niggas is like MMA fighters having a pillow fight. Like, this ain't real beef. You know what I'm saying?
The initial first two jabs.
Initial when they, right. But it was all that subliminals going back. Right. But then it got out of hand. The beef started stewing.
Yeah.
And that was, you know what I'm saying?
They were saying too much. Oh, you're a child molester. Oh, your kid's really this guy's kid. It was a lot. That was too much. That was below.
I mean, listen. I wasn't opposed to it, like because I'm a fan of battle rap, and I watch battle rap progress. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, yo, if you battling, you know what I mean? Like,
but see how Joey mentioned we keeping it hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they didn't do enough of that, and then somebody showed up to Drake's house, and he then Kendrick put up like a location, like an image of where he lived, and some crazy fan figured out where it was at. Somebody got killed.
Now I think Drake. Somebody got shot, but I think Drake crib was public information type of thing already. Like celebrities, their cribs be listed and all of that. I'm not going to die on that, but I'm saying this is what I thought it was, right? But Kendrick did use the album cover, a single cover of his house, and he had all of those labels, those markings over the crib, suggesting that his crib was full of PDF files. But I'm saying that could have been crazed fans. Every time I brought that up,
it was a crazy fan.
Yeah, but every time I brought that up, like, you know, people was like, yo, they ain't gonna get violent. I'm like, nigga, it always gets violent. You know, you just don't always hear about it.
Entourages get involved.
The entourages, the blah blah blah. So then, if a fan did that, that's still because of the beef. Right. That never happened before that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So I have a question. I'm gonna throw it out there since you made it.
You should be on camera for this.
No, you hear me.
All right.
Since you threw it out there about keep it in hip hop. Now, he's using verbal language that soars, right? Mm-hmm. So that's hip hop, right? Yeah. So if you say it on a record, that's hip hop. You know what I mean? Because he's saying it on the song. Now, I take it what other people do outside of hip hop, outside the songs, going to people's house.
Yeah, that's extra.
That's extra.
That's unnecessary. That's the reason. And that's the reason why I be standing against rap beef. In general, like I stand against it because I don't, I know where it could go. The entourages, not even the entourages. Like I got a lot of homeboys who was in jail and this, that, or third. There was a time when 50. I love telling people this, right? I didn't witness it, but my homies told me this. Multiple homeboys vouched for it. At one time in the can, there was a G Unit and Murder Inc. beef, and they was warring with each other in jail. But they were not real G Unit or real Murder Inc. They had nothing to do with we are on G Unit ideology. They are on Murder Inc. ideology. We don't fuck with them, and so with me having all of that information at my disposal, I know how stupid. I'm like, nah, I can't support rap beef. You understand what I'm saying?
Fake manufactured East Coast, West Coast beef was.
Yeah, people died though.
People died.
You understand what I'm saying?
Random people from the East Coast and West Coast felt some kind of way and were getting involved.
But what I could say about this joint right now with Joey and Kendrick, I do believe that they can pull this off without it being no real beef. And I don't usually feel that way. But with these two niggas specifically, like, because there was a point in the Kendrick and Drake beef where both of them said we could just keep it rap, or, you understand what I'm saying? Right. Niggas chose the or, right? And it went crazy. But, I mean, as far as the mudslinging and all of that, right? Like, we don't know if nobody got punched in the face
and
off
people
camera.
taking sides and people
trying to
blackball.
But like I said, somebody could have,
ways.
like Rick Ross had an incident out there, you know what I'm saying, when he was in Canada. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever, however you slice it, we ain't talking about that. But in this specific joint with Kendrick and Joey, I feel like they could keep it rap. You know who I think makes it difficult? You know who I think will fuck that up? Respectfully, Ray Vaughn. I think Ray Vaughn will fuck that up. And I'm sorry if I'm wrong, little homie, right? But Ray Vaughn seems like he wants smoke too bad.
He's trying to have a come up.
I'm saying
off of
but
one line that Joey had. Joey said too much West Coast dick licking. Of course, Jay-Z said that on Reasonable Doubt, I believe it was, right?
Yeah.
And was it 22 Twos? Maybe?
Yeah. Too much West Coast. Yeah, that was it.
He did a whole song, calling Joey Hoey and Ho Errors is the name of the record.
Yeah,
Joey addressed that.
But what Joe was saying before, like what he said before the response, he said too much. He was dissing niggas from New York, saying too much West Coast dick licking. He wasn't dissing them. He was dissing his home because y'all doing too much, right? So he didn't call nobody hoes and none of that. And that's the energy that Ray Vaughn has been bringing. You understand what I'm saying? Joey know what he did. I'm on him. And I get it. Joey did know what he was doing, but I just feel like Joey stated the line. He said, "You disguising your thirst as hunger." You know what I'm saying? It's like it feels a little bit, extra. Thirsty is an inflammatory word in the way I'm using it, so I don't want to use that word. But yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
And he said him going back and forth with Ray Vaughn is doing more for Ray than TDE ever did. He said it in the line.
Yeah, on the final song, right. He said.
Right. And it might be true because no disrespect to Ray Vaughn, I wasn't really familiar with him like that.
Now, Daylight song, on the other hand, the homie found a whole list of the songs in the order. I think the order was wrong or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's AI. So.
Yeah, right. So, but, because, like, I didn't really get to hear Daylight song when it was released. The Ray Vaughn song I heard, I'm talking about right after The Ruler's Back. When Joey put out The Ruler's Back and the initial releases, initial responses, I heard Ray Vaughn was getting busy on that joint. The Whole Era joint, I don't really like because it's specific. It almost sounds Bay Area specific hip hop. I know he ain't from the Bay Area, right?
Right, but DJ Mustard kind of took that Bay Area sound,
right,
and brought it to
right.
LA.
That's not that's not my favorite West Coast sound, right? So the way he rapping, I don't really rock with that bag. The joint he dropped after the
just flow wise.
Flow pocket beat right. The joint he dropped, the first joint after The Ruler's Back, I was rocking with that one. That's the one we couldn't find. I don't know. Somebody let us know the name of that joint. We couldn't find that joint, but he was going in. I fuck with that, right? But I'm sorry. Upon further review, I you know what I'm saying, I spread a few kind words on that. But the Whole Era joint, don't like it. When it comes down to the Daylight joint, remember I was like, I heard the Daylight joint, but when we found, I'm like, I figured out why I didn't really because I don't really like beats without drums. I don't.
I don't, for the most part, either. You know, occasionally.
Nah, Griselda do a great job with it.
Rock Mars.
You understand? Rock Mars and all that. But honestly, when they do use drums, I like their music better too.
Brownsville Cop, rest in peace.
You understand? When they use drums, I like it. Right. Listen, I'm sorry. That's just a preference. That's not a diss. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I did listen to the Daylight joint through, and he was getting busy. He was saying some shit. I heard energy from him I never heard from him in a battle. He was going in. It just felt too extreme for Joey to just have said too much West Coast dick with it. It sounded like too much for that.
Look at who Daylight
the
is.
response.
I like Daylight. I met him at battles back in the day. But this is a guy that got a crazy face tattoo, dressed like Spawn, ripped off all his clothes, got butt ass naked in front of everybody, took a shit in front of everybody.
It wasn't real doodle.
Wasn't real doodle?
Nah, I asked him. It wasn't real doodle.
I compared him to, he's like the G.G. Allen
who is
battle
G.G.
rap.
Allen?
G.G. Allen was a punk rocker who literally shit on stage and like fucked a girl on stage and all types of wild shit. Shot dope on stage.
So what you saying basically is that's on par for Daylight.
He's a shock rapper.
But he was rapping.
Well, he's talented. I'm not saying he's not talented.
I'm saying like,
but he does things for attention, and this is another thing for attention. Right. That's what I'm saying. That's
like because he wasn't like doing shock rap. He was going in like.
He was rapping.
Like I'm like he going in, but the punishment didn't fit the crime. It seemed like, you know what I'm saying. Like it's like a nigga stole stole some chains out the change jar. You know what I'm saying. Your son, that's your son. And you put him in front of the firing squad. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
right.
He only stole 25 cents for a Little Debbie's cake, nigga. And you shot the nigga. That was your son. Like, it feels like that. Like it was just too much, though. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, any songs that we missing, let me know. Put them in the comments, and I will be back on them. I'll bring Ronan back too. Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? We both from New York, you know what I'm saying? We don't want it to seem like we we just New York bias and all that.
I like Daylight.
Nah, I fuck with Daylight too. You understand?
I like a lot of TDE artists too. Absol killed it on that freestyle.
So that freestyle, the fucking Red Bull shit.
I want people to rap like that more.
First of all, I'm mad at myself because a long time ago I met Absol over in like Switzerland or something like that. He was out there, and all of my boot camp brothers knew who he was already. I didn't. I wasn't familiar, you know. I was late to the party or whatnot, but he was, you know, he was in our trailer showing love and all that. I gave him dap and all that, but I didn't know he was a fucking Yoda level MC. That you know, I had props. You know, he deserved some props and all that. But yeah, the way they doing it,
that whole black hippie crew, everybody in there is nice.
But the way they did what Joey and Absol and Big Sean did at the 360 Cypher, that gives me confidence that they'll be able to carry out this, you know, rap battle smoke without it getting crazy. Because they was right there in front. I mean, battle rap as a culture, they do it all the time. Sometimes it goes left, but they do it more times than they don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with them being in the same room, same stage, you could tell that they heard each other's raps before they happened.
Right.
That wasn't their first time. Like they tried that. Well, I get the impression. If I'm wrong, but don't seem like I am. You understand what I'm saying? So they taking their shots at each other, but it's still in all love. They pushing each other around, this, that, and the third. Oh, I say, hey man, I was just shooting in the air, man. You know what I'm saying? Blah 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 blah. It keeps the fun in there, and it takes away that demonstrative energy that I feel like Rayvon and Daylight brought on their song.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Daylight and Rayvon, maybe they're watching Power Raising Kanan, which is I think is the best Power, by the way, and Joey's doing this thing with the acting. Maybe they're kind of not offended, but like, you're doing your thing acting. Now you're trying to rap again. Like we trying to do this. Don't come back to what we're doing.
I think what it is like,
I feel like people don't like people who are multi-talented and kind of hate on them.
I don't think that's what it is. I think Kendrick just had the spirits of the city so high. You understand what I'm saying? With the victory, the Not Like Us, all of that movement, the spirits was so high. It's like we got this untouchable energy, right? And a lot of times when you feel untouchable, people abuse that power. It's like you ain't allowed to. You not allowed to say my name in the wrong tone of voice, nigga. We killing everything. That energy. You understand what I'm saying?
That for Kendrick.
So when Joey said what he said, it's like we on that right there. You know what I'm saying? And somebody like these guys who aren't known to the world, they're not at a certain level. It can be helpful to their career and all of that. I mean, Kendrick hasn't even responded.
I heard Reason got involved as well.
Who is Reason? Salute to Reason. Who's Reason? You know who that you know?
I forget.
He from the West Coast?
I think so.
A TDE artist? I mean, I seen it. I seen it in print.
So.
Somebody put it in one of the comments and all that. But I don't know.
You want me to Google it real quick while we on the
Google it. How much time we at right now?
We good. We only 17.
All right. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's interesting. I like it because I trust that it won't get out of hand. You know what I'm saying? Also, I like it because I like dope bars, and you could be talking about some shit I completely don't agree with. You could be I don't care what you rapping about. If you do it technically
he's
dope
on
enough,
TDE. Reason's on TDE.
Right. If you technically craft your racism or your whatever, I'd be like, Hitler got busy though. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if Hitler was rapping right, no, I wouldn't say. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, fuck Hitler, but his verse on the what you call it was, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing to sneeze at. That's just the craft of it that I'm in it for.
Okay. Reason's a TDE artist. My apologies. I kind of knew that, but I just wanted to make sure.
Nah, it's all good. We kind of old heads. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this then. So, you think any of it has to do with the fact that Kendrick being a West Coast artist, them clapping back with, saying something about the West, Joey and them saying something about the West, that they want to, because right now Kendrick's the pride of the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's been a while since West Coast have had that type of artist repping the West the way he is.
I don't think they've ever had that type of artist repping the West.
Well, we had Nipsey.
Oh yeah, that's right. Nipsey. Nip.
And then Nipsey.
But Kendrick is bigger than Nip. Kendrick is bigger than Nip ever was, though. Salute to Nip.
But on the street level, the homies, Nipsey was that dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That real cat. And then it was, before that, you had Tupac, and then
you had Game out there before. You know what I'm saying? But Game was a lot more controversial. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, he brought a lot of smoke with him. But like what I said,
he won a lot of battles
like
too,
Nipsey
lyrically,
and Kendrick brought a lot of peace with them, even though they was from the streets, and that's what I feel makes them unique.
Consciousness,
you understand? They brought a lot of consciousness, a lot of elevation, upliftment with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they were different.
Business owning and building up businesses in your own neighborhood.
So that's why I was saying.
So you think that
that's why people are so quick to clap back
for him
in
his name
for the simple.
I mean, it's a possibility. Listen, let me tell you something. And this I don't like I try not to be like, I don't like braggers, right? Mm-hmm. But in real life,
most rappers braggers on some level. It's MC shit.
It depends on what type of MC they are. You understand what I'm saying? But Yeah, I brag. I'm just saying in real life, I never try to act like or bloviate, make myself bigger or more gangster or more richer or more cool than no. I'm not bragging. I don't want it to look like that. I try to be sensitive to that type of thing. But anyway, what I'm saying is, son, I'm the type of person, what I know from in my own life, like, if niggas see me tripping, oh, you about to get tripped on. Because niggas know I don't be tripping. So if I trip, they niggas automatically assume you wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if son trip, niggas might be like, yo, son, what happened? So calm down, calm down, son, what happened? If I trip, niggas know, like, the hardcore rockness monster that the fans see, they don't get the version that y'all get. You know, this is what I give them in my vlogs. I'm wild cool, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Wild patient. Wow, you understand what I'm saying? I might be the last nigga to say you deserve the axe, but when I say you deserve the axe, it's probably gonna really be an axe. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying, it's severe because I let you ride for so long. You understand what I'm saying? But it's like
you've let a lot of shit slide.
Yeah, I let shit slide because, son, I know what them court cases feel like. You know what I'm saying? I know I do. So, you know, so my nigga, I got a lot of and I got hella goons. I don't need them around to protect me, but I don't bring them around to protect you, stupid. That's Swave 7 favorite line from my song, right? But like, so I be trying to keep it like this, right? Because if if these niggas see me tripping, they knee jerk reaction is gonna be Rock. Somebody is fucking with Rock. Rock did not, because that's not how. So Kendrick or Nipsey, they can have that. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, this nigga Kendrick is doing everything for the city right now, and you gonna say something? You gonna disrespect him? Mind you, a nigga didn't even disrespect him, but they antennas is. I think that definitely could be. You know what I'm saying? A part of it.
That's a big part of it.
Yes.
I agree.
It's like, nah, no slander, no shots will be taken at our king. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I mean, I stand by that. I ain't mad at them, but I just feel like Rayvon and I guess Daylight, I feel like they could be a little bit more tactful about it. You understand what I'm saying? Because it can be interpreted as thirst. You understand?
Yeah. They looking thirsty and they're going a little too hard off of one line.
Yeah, for one line, like that mean you really ain't like a nigga for real. If you ever shook my hand before, you a fake nigga, because you didn't just think of all that shit there to say it. You understand what I'm saying?
So the other part to that, though, you know what I'm saying, as a West Coast, you know what I mean, is y'all started it, right? Y'all started hip hop. Mm-hmm. So everybody do out here on the West, they always say, oh, well, you dick ride East. If you're a lyrical dude, this and that, you're a dick rider of the East Coast. You know, we do that West Coast. You know, we do that West Coast. We don't get to see that.
We don't hear that. We don't get to see that.
So we do our West Coast shit.
Isn't it past that at this point, though?
It still gets said.
Between the Game and Kendrick.
I'm just saying, for the artists, period.
Truth is, they always had lyrical niggas out here. Like
so for the independent artists that are out there, for the independent artists that are out there that are coming up,
the Razzcast.
You know what I'm saying? If you were a lyrical artist, you know, they always kind of dip it, oh, you on that East Coast shit. You know what I'm saying? So we on that gang shit over here, or whatever. They are, you know what I mean?
Meanwhile,
outsiders looking in.
Right. Meanwhile, that's all Joey said to the East Coast. Like, why y'all trying to be like them? Why you trying to be that? You know, it's a certain cloth of people in New York that don't support the Crips and Bloods being out there. Like, that's their shit. B, you understand what I'm saying? Like what are you doing? Like, how are you a LeBron fan and he ain't never played for New York? You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like this, I mean, I can understand being a LeBron fan, but how are you a fan of his team and not our team?
That's why
that's a thing in New York.
I remember True Life was saying that a lot. He was saying, be a DCEP, be a low life. You know what I mean?
You understand what I'm saying? Like, that was a thing. Like,
right.
like we adapt everybody's everything. I mean, granted, we have some of everybody living in New York. You know, it's a melting pot, like, you know, Caribbeans to, you know, Latins and all kind of everything else. Everything you could think of is in New York. But all of that stuff ain't in hip hop. Not all of it, not a dominant, you understand what I'm saying? Some of it is. That's not what they jacking though. They jacking whatever, when down south was popping, niggas is jacking that. When the West Coast was popping, niggas was jacking that, and so on and so forth. So now that Kendrick blew the West Coast back up, who know? Too much West Coast dick licking. I don't know. I don't know what they was doing downstairs. You know what I'm saying? Outside, I was in the crib, right? But I know while I was blogging about it, and the whole Kendrick wave took over everything, and maybe Joey was like, you know what? Calm down.
I feel like
Brooklyn.
a lot of with social media.
Calm your ass down, Brooklyn. Get off the man nuts.
Everybody kind of jumps on trends, and they don't have their own sound a lot of times. Their own regional sound, their own personal artistic sound. Mm-hmm. So like when trap music was the biggest thing, all these New York rappers are trying to do the trap thing.
Right.
When Griselda came out and started bubbling,
that's what everybody
stopped doing trap and started doing more boom bap, lyrical street shit.
It's a monkey see, monkey do industry, and
instead of being yourself.
And that's basically what Joey was saying when he said too much West Coast dick licking. Right? Yes, I know. I'm not denying that he knew that that he would get a reaction. I just feel like some of the reaction is a little bit too offended, a little bit too. I can't tell niggas how to feel, but I can feel how I feel about the way y'all feel. I'm just saying. We're gonna cut this. We've been here damn near a half hour. I don't usually do my vlogs this long, but this topic got legs. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about this, the rocket science of it all. We could talk about it for, you know what I mean? Forever. It's not gonna go nowhere. We didn't even break down all the lyrics yet. You know what I'm saying? Or none of the lyrics. And it was some shit that was said. So stay tuned. Let me know if y'all would like more on this topic. Or if more happened on this topic, I'm definitely coming back to talk about it, whether me and, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
More will happen, trust me.
Yes. All right. So, welcome to the nation, Monster Nation. I'm your host, your tour guide. President, I'm the king around here. Landlord, owner, tenant, janitor. I'm off the damn floor. With you. If you don't follow the rules. Rules are you gotta like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. If you're trying to be a tax-paying citizen of the nation, leave us a super thanks. Or a Cash App. We actually prefer the Cash App, but y'all do y'all. I know you niggas don't listen. Cash App tag will be in the description along with the Bandcamp link, which is there for those of you who would rather hear me rap than hear me yap. All the mixtapes is there. The newest one is called Nonviolent Rocco. For all you bitch ass niggas. Also, the mixtapes date all the way back, Faye-Band, right? They date all the way back to Shell Shock, so get involved, you know what I'm saying? Also, when you're writing on the walls or your comments, do your spell checks, don't use your autocorrect. Autocorrect will get your shit deleted, you understand? It's monster, not monster. It's an A, no ER. It's helter skelter, not helter skelter. It's AH's, no ERs. You know what I mean? For the love of all things decent, it's BCC, not BBC. Pause protesters, get your ass out of here. Rest of y'all, welcome to the nation. If you made it to the end of this video, let me get 4 microphones. Rock on, rock on. Signing off for me and my bro Joe Ronan. Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. Oh my God.
He knows some. Now don't sleep.
A little bit.
Rock on, rock on.